It is time once again to watch the best junior hockey players in the world compete for gold, who are the Canadian kids you need to know about at this year's tournament. Hey everyone, welcome in to a World Junior Preview edition here. Rob Wong, joined alongside by Ryan Pyette of the London Free Press and Postmedia, who is keeping an eye on the World Juniors being played in Sweden this year, Ryan. And Canada, the two-time defending champion, looking to make it 3 straight gold medals. Last year it was the Connor Bedard show. Let's talk about some players who could steal the spotlight this year. And we got to start with Macklin Celebrini, the projected #1 pick for next year's NHL draft. For people that haven't seen him, what can you tell us about his game?
Well, he's an exciting player. I mean, people be spoiled by Connor Bedard, right? Obviously, smashing records last year, so don't expect that. But another kid, we seem to churn them out every couple of years in Canada. 17 years old, he's one of the best scorers in U.S. college hockey, playing at Boston University. So they're an awesome team. He probably gets a shot at a national championship along with trying for this World Junior. And you just go back like with Hockey Canada international play. You go, what did the guys do at U17, U18? This guy's playing up at U18, and he ripped it up. Last year. So I mean, the thought is obviously this is a 19-year-old tournament, but he's a kid that can make hay and probably do pretty well. And I think he's going to be in a scoring role, of course, and he's not going to end up on the checking line. I don't think on Alan Letang's squad.
Now, Maple Leafs fans will definitely be tuning in to see a pair of Toronto prospects in Easton Cowan and Fraser Minton. What kind of roles do you think they're going to play on this team?
Well, I know Easton Cowan, like 18 years old, he will be probably in that bottom six role. But from watching him all the time in the OHL, he's probably the best penalty killing forward in the league. He's unbelievable forechecking on the puck. He really worked at his skating in the summer, and obviously that was evident at Leafs camp. So he brings that aggressiveness. Everyone always talks about how he's not very big, but on the big ice, being that quick kind of smaller guy, with a lot of ferociousness to his game. I think it's gonna work well. I've seen a lot of players that Dale Hunter's coached like him. I'll go back to Nazem Kadri. Obviously Naz is a center, but he was a World Junior star too, and I wouldn't be surprised if Easton Cowan was. Fraser Minton, interesting year. As everybody knows, making the Leafs out of camp, which was a big surprise for a second rounder, but 19, he's a guy that should take control of this tournament. I think of some of the guys that I've seen in the past, like Barrett Hayton. There was a guy that put the team on his shoulders for Dale Hunter in 2020, and I think Fraser can kind of do that. He's got, obviously Kamloops was rebuilding this year after their Memorial Cup run last spring, so he got traded to Saskatoon. So he's going through right now kind of like a transition in his club team, right, on a new team, one of the best teams in the country. So there's like another guy that has a chance to do that double World Junior gold and then maybe raise the Memorial Cup.
Well, as you mentioned, Minton getting a taste of the NHL. So did Matthew Poitras, who has been loaned to Team Canada here by the Boston Bruins. What is the expectation for him?
Yeah, I mean, he'd be the best player in the OHL, the leading scorer. If Boston didn't keep him, you can see why Boston kept him, and he scored half a point a game at the NHL level. And we think, Rob, to when at the start of the year, will Boston take that step back? Are they going to fall behind Toronto and Florida and be maybe fighting for a playoff spot? And look where they are, and he's one of the guys. They up the middle, they were they're like, who are we going to have here after our top guys? And he's fit in there. And I think everyone's going to talk, oh, is he going to go back to Guelph after the tournament? I think he's going to have a great tournament and then go right back to Boston where they kind of need him. And a tremendous heady player, very smart, can move the puck better than, I don't want to say Marner-esque, like I watched Marner growing up, but he's got that same sort of sees the ice from above as everyone kind of talks about, right? And he can make plays. And I think he could be one of the leading scorers in the tournament.
And finally, Owen Beck, the only returning player from last year's team. So a lot of new, fresh faces for this year's squad. How do you think Beck's experience from last year is going to help him at this tournament?
Yeah, I think it's just obviously they have coaches that have been there before, and you got voices, and you can lean on the players can lean on guys that have been there before that in their friends group. But there's a guy that's kind of he should be a leader. He went through it last year, was successful. I watched him play a lot in Peterborough, and I think he's obviously in the OHL. He's the big guy that everybody wants to trade for this year. So he can only help his stock. He's going to help Peterborough if he plays really well at this tournament again. He's going to help them get a lot of picks and a top player if he gets moved here at the trade deadline in January. But it's just nice to have that calming influence, and I think he will be. He's also, like, we go back to Cowan. He's a physical force too. He can play that way, and obviously awesome in the face-off circle, which you always need. And so you'll see him out there a lot, especially with the games on the line. He's gonna if he's doing well, winning 50-60% of his draws, he's gonna be out there a lot. And Alan Tang's gonna lean on him, I think, in the big moments, in those close games when they have them. I don't think you'll see him in those blowout ones, but you watch the game against Finland, and I think he'll be if it's a tight game, he'll be in there, as a top center.
Well, it should be another great tournament as Canada looks to defend their gold medal yet again. You can find all of Ryan's World Juniors coverage right here at Postmedia.